Hello my lovelies. In today's video I wanted to show you how to install the separating pins to transform any zipper by the yard into a separating zipper. You use separating zippers usually for hoodies, for jackets, and all those fun zippers that we have for making bags can now be turned into separating zippers for making jackets. So I'll show you the process for a zipper coil first, and then you can let me know if you need to see the process for transforming a resin coil tape into a separating zipper. For now I'll start with the zipper coils that are made of nylon, because I feel like this is more difficult to achieve than the resin tape. The difference between a resin tape and a nylon, resin teeth and nylon, is that the nylon is basically a string of nylon that's looped many times. So it's one continuous string of nylon, whereas teeth that are made of resin, like these, are each tooth is an individual tooth. This is one of the main differences. That's why I wanted to do a video for the nylon coil, because it's more difficult to more difficult. It's a different process than this one. So for this you will obviously need your zipper tape. I'm using number 5 zipper tape from Wizardry Stitchery and Crafts. I'm using her pins also from the same company, and you'll also need pliers, lighter to seal the edges, super glue, and some sharp scissors. And you might need tweezers too, but that's optional. We'll see. Before I get started, I need to mention that the pins can be purchased in either left or right pins. They say on them is either L, it says right here 5L, which means it's for number 5 tape, and it's the left set. You can purchase them in 5L or 5R, which is the right one. There is also some available, I don't know if Melissa carries them, but you might find them in number 3 for number 3 tapes, but I'm not a fan of number 3 tapes for jackets, so I would stick to number 5. The only difference between the L and the R, the left and the right, is how you place them on the zipper tape, because in traditional garment sewing, right is for women, left is for men, or vice versa. I don't know, and frankly I don't care. I'm not such a gender specific sewist that I keep in mind the old notions of left for women, right for men, or vice versa. Honestly, don't correct me, because I won't remember and I don't care. So I'm using left pins but I'm going to use the same zipper tape for myself or for my boys. I don't care. So that's why they're left or right pins. But for my tutorial, I'm showing you on left pins. So start by, I have a zipper tape that's, I don't know, over a yard long, I think. Start by sealing the edges so it doesn't fray on you. Just with a lighter, I'm sealing in the edges of the tape. And then I open it a little bit so I can work. Now I know that my zipper will go like so. My zipper pin, I'm laying it on the table so it's easier for you all to see how it will be in the end. So this is how it will look in the end. There's a groove on this that will be slid into the zipper, and so this will go like so, and there's a groove on the pin that goes inside that this will be slid into the zipper too. So the grooves will be on the outside. I'm going to start working on my left pin, and using my zipper, my scissors, I'm going to cut 4 zipper coils like so. Preferably don't use your fabric scissors because you're cutting nylon and so plastic, so you're gonna ruin your scissors. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'm cutting 4 teeth that I want to remove. When you remove these, you need to make sure that you don't remove the thread. There's a thread in here, and I'm going to remove them with my pliers. There's a thread inside that you'll see as soon as you remove the teeth, and you don't want to get that out of there. You want to keep that inside and seal it in. Alright, so see, there's a tape, there's a thread right here. Now mine is fraying, but you don't want to lose that. You want to remove just these, just the plastic coils. You can kind of see it right here, the plastic coil. Alright, so now I'm going to seal in this zipper tape. Actually, it looks like this one I can remove it and melt it, or just melt it away. That thread, because now I have the extra zipper tape that looks. When I did my practice run, I cut this tape and I didn't like how it looked. So now you can see I have here some extra tape. That's exactly what I need. So I'm going to remove this. See, this is the difference from resin tape or metal teeth. Resin teeth or metal teeth, because you need to remove the coil that's like in loops, and it has this thread. There you go. So I'm trying to clean it as much as I can. The cleaner it is, the easier it will be to add the pins. Alright, so now I have this, I'm measuring it, I'm sliding. Okay, so I need to remove more coil, see? I'm sliding it in the groove, and I see that I'm not getting all the way to the top, which means I need to remove at least 1 more coil. From there. So 5. Right now we are at 5 loops. And every time you remove a coil, you need to make sure that you seal everything in. Alright, let's seal it, and we'll double check that it's the length that we need. Alright, so take your pin and slide it in, and make sure that the end, okay, so it's 1 more. Well, it's actually the one that's at the top right here. Okay, now I should be good. So we're at about 6 pins. Perfect. So this is how your tape will look on one side. It's nice and clean. You've removed 6 loops. And you want to slide your... Okay, that's perfect. See, when you slide it in, it's flushed at the bottom. That's what you want. You want it flushed at the bottom. There you go. Perfect. So now what you will need to do, holding your... slide it in, but it's not going to stay, so you need to make sure you get it like balancing, and using super glue you're gonna have to glue it there gently, making sure that the glue doesn't spill everywhere, and especially on your hands. Now if you notice, store-bought tapes have this end that's not so flimsy, like see, like the tape here. You want to make this part hard so it's easier to make the slide go in and out. So to get that part tougher, all you have to do is put super glue on it and let it soak in. So it's about 1/2 inch, I would say, of super glue. It's gonna soak on the other side. So now you can see it's glary. It's like shiny on this part. And that's gonna dry up, and it's going to be hard like a store-bought separating zipper. So you will need to let that part dry. So I'm going to go ahead and separate a little more. This way I don't have to touch that end. And work with the other side. So if on this side you've removed, first of all you need to make sure that they were leveled, your zipper teeth, right? So you do the math easier. So if on this side you've removed 6 loops, on the other side you'll need to remove 7 loops. So now I'm gonna count 7 loops and double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You need to have 1 more on the other side. And just remove those coils. And you see the thread here that's like fanning out. I'll take that out too. But you want to make sure you take just the thread out, not the actual tape. So you can cut it off like so, but not the tape itself, just that fuzzy thread that's inside there. Alright, so now I'm going to seal it in, just like I did on the other side. I'm repeating the same steps, like from the other side. I'm sealing it in. Make sure you don't get fuzz on your super glued part. Okay. There you go. Everything is nice and sealed in. So now, ouch. Now take your pin and make sure that you slide it in to double check it. Just like you did on the other side, you're sliding in the tape with the pointy side down. So see, there's a pointy side. It will slide in with that pointy side down. So when you go ahead and put the 2 sides together, that pointy side will slide in the zipper, the other end. And again, this is sliding, but I'm going to keep my tape like so gravity will hold it in place, and do the same thing. I'm going to super glue it first on the tape itself. Oops. Let's see if I can work better with the tweezers, because I decided to do my nails a little longer than normal. All right, perfect. So this works. Or not. So super glue on that. Come on. Slide it in. And I need to make sure this stays in until it dries. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna dab a little bit more super glue just to make sure it stays in. And I'm going to repeat the same thing as I did before. Just brush some super glue on the rest of the tape, about 1/2 inch, to obtain that hard edge. Alright, so now I'm just gonna let it dry. That's it. You need to make sure that you don't touch them, because they're gonna stick to your hand. This is what they look like now while drying. And you need to let them aside for, I'm gonna say, about 1/2 hour, maybe to 1 hour, to make sure that the super glue is properly dried. Alright, so the glue is now dried, and I'm gonna slide the one zipper pull. I have a zipper pull right here. Oh, there it is. A super cute sewing machine. I opened the zipper tape, and I'm going to slide the zipper pull on the end that has that L-shaped piece from the top. So I'm sliding this down. This is a pretty long tape. There you go. All the way down, and put it in the piece. So now I'm taking the other side, sliding it over here. It might be a little rough the first couple of times. Make sure you slide it all the way in the end. And then there you have it. You have your zipper separating zipper from zipper tape. There you go. So now that's the end. There you have it. So before I let you guys go, I have 3 things that I want to mention before you try this. One, it's a process that will take practice. So practice, practice, practice. You might need to, if you want to make one separating zipper, don't order one end, because you might need a couple of them. They're not expensive. You might need a couple of them just to practice. This is like my 10th attempt, just because I needed to practice how to attach them. So main tip is practice, practice, practice. Don't use your best tape for your project the first time with the first end and pin, because you will need to probably redo it. So just do a couple trial ones before you do the finished one. That's my first tip. Second tip is a little goes a long way with the super glue. You don't want to have super glue in the coil teeth, because that will prevent the slider from sliding in. So you want to make sure that the super glue stops, like don't dry your piece like this, because gravity will draw the super glue and go in the coils. And I've learned this by mistakes, by making mistakes, but I'm giving you the tips before so maybe you can avoid it. So when you put your piece to dry it like so on the table, this way, or on a flat, on an angle of a table. This way the super glue dries right here, it doesn't flow in the coils. And again, a little goes a long way. Don't oversaturate it with super glue, because this tape, if it gets too thick, you won't be able to slide it. And my third tip is some zipper pins need to be flattened. I have some nickel ones that came with that were ready for them to be inserted. Now these rainbow ones, I found that they need to be tightened here. And so you might need to with a pair of pliers at the end here, so they slide nicely inside the slot. So those are my 3 tips. And again, practice, little glue, press this, and don't use your favorite zipper for the first try. Give it a few tries before you use it for your project. But other than that, it's pretty simple. And if you're not comfortable starting to make your own zipper tapes, Melissa at WSNC has separating zippers that are 1 yard long in her shop, so you can just buy them pre-made. All you have to do is add your favorite zipper pulls. So I'll link her shop in the description below. And I hope this helps. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.